Deep in the rugged mountains of the North Caucasus lies a vertical shaft so strange it has baffled experts for over a decade. Imagine descending into a chamber where walls of massive, perfectly shaped stone blocks rise higher than 10-story buildings, yet no one knows who built it or why. Could this be the lost work of an advanced prehistoric civilization, or is it a natural formation unlike anything science has ever documented? The truth is so unsettling that it continues to haunt researchers and fuels a mystery that refuses to be solved. The mysterious shaft discovered in the remote and rugged mountains of Russia's North Caucasus lies a vertical shaft unlike any natural cave system known to science. Discovered near Korohora mountain peak in Kabardino-Balkaria, this opening captured immediate attention for its unusually straight edges and unnervingly perfect vertical descent. Unlike typical cave entrances, which tend to be jagged and irregular, the shaft appeared sharp and deliberate, almost as if cut by human hands. Early explorers quickly realized that what seemed like a simple geological anomaly was something far stranger, sparking curiosity and confusion alike. The shaft plunges downward nearly 130 feet, the depth roughly equivalent to a 12-story building. Explorers noted that the walls were smooth, flat, and featured planes of stone arranged in parallel lines. These polished surfaces contrasted starkly with the rough, random shapes commonly found in nature's caves. Instead of cracks and curves shaped by water or erosion, the walls rose straight and unforgiving, framed by massive stone slabs perfectly aligned. This unnatural geometry was the first hint that the shaft might not be a simple natural formation. The descent itself was no small feat, only a narrow vertical passage. It forced climbers to lower themselves inch by inch using ropes and harnesses. The danger was constant, for one slip could prove fatal. Yet, despite the risk, those who ventured inside reported feeling a growing sense of stepping into something ancient and deliberately constructed, rather than simply stumbled upon. The confined space amplified the ominous atmosphere, as light from headlamps showed precision-crafted stone blocks stretching high above, beyond what many had expected to find in such a remote location. As explorers reached the bottom, the shaft suddenly opened into a massive underground chamber. It was here that the scale became truly staggering. The ceiling soared nearly 120 feet overhead, far larger than typical cave halls. The walls were formed by enormous rectangular blocks, some weighing upwards of 200 tons, fitted with joints so tight that no gaps could be seen. In places, the blocks stood like pillars, suggesting an architectural design intended to support enormous weight. This discovery elevated the shaft from a mere curiosity to a potentially monumental ancient structure. What made this place even more perplexing was the absence of typical cave floor features like natural debris or uneven formations. Instead, everything was smooth, meticulously squared, and sharp-edged. Narrow corridors branched off, but these were so tight and uniform they looked more like tunnels carved for a specific purpose rather than random natural faults. The geometry of the entire space hinted not at chance but at intention. Yet despite these mind-bending findings, no clear evidence was found to explain who built the shaft or why. There were no artifacts, no tools, no markings of typical human activity like pottery shards or torch remnants. The silence of these clues only deepened the enigma. This absence of ordinary archaeological traces meant that the shaft either belonged to a civilization far earlier and stranger than currently understood, or represented a geological phenomenon yet unnamed by science. As news of the discovery spread, debates erupted in both scientific and enthusiast communities. Was this a lost chapter of human history, or was nature playing a trick our knowledge could not explain? The shaft resisted categorization, hovering between possibilities that challenged existing academic frameworks. While initial reports focused on the physical descent, the real questions loomed large: what does this structure represent, and what implications does it hold? This blend of incredible geological anomaly and potential human engineering set the stage for a deeper investigation. The mystery of the shaft captured imaginations, but the truth remained elusive, cloaked in the shadows beneath the mountain. Only by looking further, into the rich history and cultural context of the region, could one begin to approach an answer. The more they descended, the more it seemed that beneath the surface lay not just stone and shadow, but untold secrets echoing through time. And those secrets would lead beyond geology into the heart of ancient legends. Legends of the Caucasus Mountains. The Caucasus Mountains, home to the Kabardino-Balkaria region, have long been threaded with stories as wild and rugged as the landscape itself. For generations, local peoples have passed down tales of hidden underground cities, labyrinthine tunnels, and secret refuges carved beneath the earth. These legends speak of entire communities living below the surface, possibly to escape invading forces or to preserve knowledge lost to time. Such stories, often exchanged around fires, hint at a subterranean world that remains tantalizingly out of reach. These folk tales describe strange stone passages that defy natural explanation, smooth, straight corridors framed by blocks too regular to be mere chance. Locals referred to shafts and caves that seemed almost unnatural, deep holes that stretched straight down into darkness. While many dismissed these as myth or superstition, some believed the stories contained fragments of forgotten truth. They imagined ancient builders with advanced tools, creating passages that modern science would struggle to replicate. The region's ethnic diversity added to the richness of these myths. Different groups, speaking varied languages and nurturing distinct traditions, all harbored tales of the underground. These narratives preserved a shared sense of mystery surrounding the mountains, blending historical memory with the imagination. The mountains themselves stood as guardians of secrets too old for written records. As such, the underground lore formed a parallel history, one transmitted orally rather than by stone or script. When explorers began modern geological surveys in the 20th century, they could not ignore these persistent local rumors. Soviet expeditions mapped the Caucasus extensively, searching for natural resources like oil and minerals, yet large tracts remained unexplored and poorly understood. The stories of unnatural shafts and carved blocks continued to circulate among villagers and mountaineers, fueling curiosity in the face of official silence. These legends became a beacon for researchers who believed the mountains held more than just mineral wealth. Some of the myths tied directly into the belief in lost civilizations that predated known ancient cultures. The notion of underground cities was not unique to the Caucasus. Similar legends exist worldwide, but here they were rooted in tangible features of the landscape. Descriptions of stone blocks and regular shafts intriguingly mirrored the real vertical passage found later. This overlap between story and physical evidence blurred the line between fantasy and reality, inviting speculation about the shaft's true nature. The oral histories preserved stories of invaders, hidden sanctuaries, and technologies lost to time, all woven into the fabric of the region's identity. Certain narratives even hinted at the idea of sacred sites or places of power beneath the mountains, where ancient knowledge or energy might be stored. These ideas, while mystical, surfaced repeatedly in local accounts, raising questions about the role the shaft might play beyond mere architecture. For researchers drawn by these tales, folklore was not mere amusement, it was a potential guide. Some believed that within these old legends lay clues that could unlock the shaft's secrets, pointing scientists where to look or what to expect. The intertwining of myth and stone created an atmosphere charged with mystery, inviting a closer look but also caution. After all, if these stories were true, they meant the shaft was more than just a geological wonder.